I'm going to make this one video and kind of show you how to edit all of these animated character explainer videos, because the process is basically the same. I don't want to make 19 or whatever it is, 20 different tutorials telling you to do the same thing over and over again. That would be a complete waste of my time and your time. So just know that no matter what, which one of the animated character templates you're using, all of what I'm going to show you here applies. So with that out of the way, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the construction contractor template and the internet entrepreneur template as the example in this video. Again, keep in mind this works for all of the animated character video templates. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and start from the beginning. So you can see here that the character, or this particular character template, is made up of 5 different slides. So the first slide is just a scene with an object on top of that scene. So we can move it around, move him wherever we want. I'll put him back right there. So this is basically a background image. This background image here is a background image that is set onto this slide here. So if we went to right-clicked on the slide, Format Background, you can see over here on the right, it's set to Picture or Texture Fill, and then we've inserted our background image right here as a file. So we can't actually move that background. That background stays fixed. We don't have to worry about it moving or anything like that. Same with this one here. This beach scene here and these chairs is all a background. The only thing that's separate and that can be moved are the characters. Okay. Same thing with this scene here. The office thing with the office wall with the bookshelf is the background, and then the character is the guy in the chair. Now with that said, so what we've done here is we've already set up 3 different scenes for you already. Okay, so you've got the background, this one is the guy in the Lamborghini driving down the road, this one is the couple that walks onto the beach, and this one is the guy in the office chair. So this template actually comes with 5 total characters. So we're only using 1, 2, 3 characters in the scenes over here, but you can use the rest of these ones in your slides as well. So if we wanted to do that, all we would have to do is just copy, Control-C. Let's say we wanted to use this girl here. We could copy her, go to the slide we want to use her on, and then just click and drag her wherever we want. We can basically just scale her up because she's already a high resolution image anyways. So we can put her wherever we want, and we could add animations to her, do whatever we want. Same thing with the objects here. So these objects can be used anywhere in your slides as well. So let's say we want to have this plane, for example. So we want to have it flying in the background, or over here, or flying above the sky with its landing gear down, for example. Then we just basically copy and paste it onto the scene, and it gives the illusion that the plane is in the background. And we can actually make that plane fly across the screen like that, but just by adding a simple animation to it, which I'm going to show you how to do stuff like that here in a minute. So that's the basic way these animated character templates are built. I'm just going to go ahead and delete those ones. And so they're made up of 4 different things. You've got the backgrounds, which are set to the slide. And then you've got the characters. Then you've got your objects, which are props, I guess you could call them, all found on this slide here, and you can use them anywhere you want in the video. So all of these slides here have pre-defined animations set to them. So this guy here, he is, let me close some of this stuff over here. So we basically are using a fly-in animation for him, and then we have him exit off the screen. So if we were to select him, click on Animations, and over here on the right under Animation pane, you can see the animations that are applied to this object when we select it. So we can actually preview that animation right there. So the animation is that he flies in off the screen, and then he flies out. Okay, so this stuff has already been added into this slide by us for you. You don't need to to add any animations to this object if you want to use it as is. But let's say if you wanted to make this car do something else. For example, let's say you wanted it to come onto the screen and maybe do a jump and then land and then continue driving. Then you will need to add some more animations to this. So what we'll do is we'll do that right now. I'll go ahead and move this car over here, and we'll keep the fly-in animation. So we still want him to fly in and drive away. So we'll keep the fly in and we'll keep the fly out animation. But let's say we wanted it to do like a quick pop like that and then continue driving. So what we'll do is we'll select him, we'll go to add animation, and we will go to motion paths. So motion paths is where we can basically move something across a path. So in this case we'll use an arc. We'll make him arc like that, but we'll change the direction of it. So you can see that we can control the direction of the arc here. The green is the beginning and the red is the end of the arc. So what we're going to do is we can just go like that. And I'm not sure if that's going to do exactly what we want it to do, but let's see what happens. So, and now over here on the order of animations, we want this to happen after he comes onto the screen, but before he leaves the screen. So we're going to put it in between or after the fly-in animation, but before the fly-out animation. And we're going to make it happen after previous, and we'll see what happens. So he's going to come on to the screen, kind of does a little swoop down and continues driving. So obviously that doesn't do what we want him to do. In this case, a line might be better for this. So we'll go ahead and we'll add an animation again. We'll go to lines, and we will just have him go up like that, and we'll add another animation. Let's see here. So we just added 2 lines, so we'll move these again to appear or to happen between the 2 animations. We'll have them happen after previous. So now let's see what we've created. Okay, so we've kind of achieved that effect where he flies up and then lands back down, but it's kind of happening too slow. So what you can do is you can adjust the speed of the animations. You just if you click on them, go to Effect Options, go to Timing. You can see that duration is set to medium. You want it to be very fast. So we can change both of those to very fast. And it should happen a lot faster. And let's see what happens now. So it flies onto the screen, does a little jump, and continues driving. It's kind of choppy. We could play with it to fine-tune it, but I won't do it for the sake of this video. So now I'm just going to continue on here and just showing you how you can add more objects to your scene. Let's say we wanted to have this jet here fly across the screen of this beach scene here. So this current scene here is basically where they walk from off the screen and meet and hold hands. So you can see here we're just using 2 custom motion path animations. So these animations are actually found under motion paths, and we're using, let me see here, custom path, and it's just a zigzag line that we've created, so it just gives the impression that they're kind of walking onto the screen. Okay, so let's say you want to add something else to this scene. Like I just said, this jet. We'll copy that, we'll select it, Control-C, copy. We'll paste it into this scene, and maybe we'll scale this down a little bit. And let's say we want it to fly across the screen like this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move it off the slide because we want it to start off screen. And we're just going to go to Animations, and we're going to go to Custom Path. And now we can basically, by clicking our mouse, we can define a custom path that we want this plane or this object to travel. So we'll click where we want it to start, You can see we have a line now, so we can click and go. Click again where we want it to stop. We can have the plane go down if we want to, but we don't want that to happen. We can just click and drag to define our path here until it gets off the screen. Now when you're done, you just hit enter, and now you've defined a custom motion path for that object. So let's see what happens now. You can see the plane just flies from off the screen through the sky and off the slide. Pretty cool. So let's see what it looks like as a whole scene. You can see the characters walk on, the plane comes on and flies away. So you can see over here under the animation pane that this plane animation is set to happen after, when we click our mouse, after these characters walk on the screen. But let's say we wanted this plane to fly across the screen at the same time as these characters. Then in this case we can say start with previous, which would mean start with the animation of them walking onto the beach, or start after. So let's see what happens if we go start with previous. So the plane, you can see, flies across the screen at the same time as they walk onto the screen. So that's how simple it is to add objects and animate them. And again, you can pick and choose from any of the objects in any of the templates and use them however you want in your videos. You can use them across different templates, combine them, do whatever you want. You really have a whole bunch of different objects and characters at your disposal now to create a whole bunch of different type of scenes for your videos. So this is the Internet Entrepreneur template, and again, we can continue playing around with this. We could add a computer to this bookshelf over here if we wanted to. Let's see. We can build a little desk over here if we wanted to, but we're not going to do that right now. But I'm going to close this one. So now let's look at one of the other templates. This is the building contractor and construction template. So this one is set up the same exact way as the Internet Entrepreneur template, just like all the other animated character templates. They're all set up like this. So like I said, this slide background is set as a background image, so we can't actually select it. It's already, it's set there. It can't be changed. It can't be moved unless you go into the format background and actually change it yourself. But this, this scene right here already has a predefined animation, as you've already seen. So if we wanted to see what that animation was, we would just click on the Animations tab, go to Animation Pane. You can see over here on the right, I'll play this. These two characters are just animated onto the screen using those custom motion paths that I just showed you how to use with the airplane. So that's just a zigzag line to give the impression that they're walking onto the screen. This second slide is the background of a road being constructed. Then we've got a little supervisor there, and we've got a dump truck that backs up onto the screen. He basically comes from off of the slide. And that was done in a similar way to what I just showed you when we animated the plane flying across the back of the scene on the Internet Entrepreneur pack. This next scene here is very similar to the first one, where the guys kind of just walk onto the screen, and now the tractor drives away. This is all done with animations, and again, all controlled. The timing is all controlled under the animations. You can see these first two animations here are the two guys walking onto the screen, and then you can see that this animation right here is for the tractor, and it doesn't start until the guys finish walking onto the screen. So pay attention to the playhead over here, and pay attention to how it corresponds with the animated items over here. You can see the guys walk on, and then when it gets there, the tractor drives off of the screen. So again, just like the last video, we can use any of these characters here to build out our scenes or do whatever we want. So let's say we wanted to add this guy right here. Let's say we wanted to add him, standing on this tractor, for example. And this is probably not going to look that realistic, but we can have him standing. We can have him standing right there on the bucket of the tractor. So we can actually make him move with the tractor to give the illusion that he's part of the tractor, or he's moving with one object with it. So what we can do is we can just add an animation to him, and it's going to be the same animation that is set to the tractor, which is the fly out animation. So we'll go to select him, and we'll go to fly out, and we're wanting to fly. Oops, I selected float, sorry. So we want to fly out, and we want him to fly to the left at the same time as the previous animation, which is the tractor. And we want it to be at the same speed, so we'll change it to, I think it's set to medium. So now let's see what this looks like. Guys walk on, and then the tractor and the guy drive off. You can see that the guy doesn't actually go the same speed. So maybe we'll play with his timing a little bit more. And it might take some tweaking to experiment with it to get it just how you want. Actually, if I was to do this, I would actually use a custom motion path for both of these. If I wanted to tie this guy to this tractor, then I would probably use a custom motion path instead of a fly-out animation, because it looks like the time is varying depending on how big the object is. But if we were doing this for a final video, that's what I would probably do. And again, we can use any of these objects here. Let's say if we want to take this construction cone and put it, right here, we could build out a little construction cone barrier around our sheets of plywood over here. And let's say we wanted to, you can see how this cone is kind of overlapping the tractor. Obviously that doesn't look realistic, so let's say you wanted to, play with the layers. Let's say we wanted this cone to appear behind the tractor. We could just right click and go send to back, and you can see how it goes behind the item that it was previously in front of. So it can kind of give us a better illusion of a real three-dimensional scene. So it's really that simple. Whoops, didn't mean to delete that. So that's the basic editing of the animated character templates. And again, it's all the same for all of the templates, and I didn't want to make 18, 19 different tutorials for you. But that's it. They're all the same, and feel free to mix and match the characters between each template. Like for example, I could take this guy here, copy him, go into the PowerPoint, into another PowerPoint template, and just paste him in there and use him in that template. It's you don't have to be confined to using these characters and objects or backgrounds in the same template. You can mix and match however you want. And publishing these to a video is exactly the same as I described in the Impact Video Sales Letter video. You can play the animations on your screen and use a screen capture software to do it that way. Or you could just publish straight to a video from PowerPoint using the export option. And if you want to do any other editing after that to enhance the video and fine-tune things in Sony Vegas or Adobe Premiere, you can do that. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and